Because I went from a virgin at almost 30 years old to a single mother.
Imagine you keeping your virginity till you're 30 years old and decide to give it to a man, the very first guy that you're sleeping with. Boom, he got you pregnant and left you as a single mother. That is painful because what is now the reward of being a virgin? Because when you are going to keep your virginity for a man, and at the end of the day, you're still not going to find a good man. Let me show you all this video of this woman trying to tell us that she moved from a virgin to she was 30 years old and now she became a single mom.
I really wish is that for you men to be honest with women from the beginning. I've been battling this for years, crying for years, because I went from a virgin at almost 30 years old to a single mother. And it hurts me because I've been silent for too long. And all I hear people say is they disrespect women and mothers all the time. But they don't never talk about how men lie and deceive women. And they don't even want to be with them. I wish I would just be honest with women before the trauma begins. So I went from a virgin to almost 30 years old to a single mom, to be in trauma, to be in survival mode. That's what obsessed me the most. Like, I was a good girl my whole life, loyal to people that deceive me the most. And that's what messes me up the most. Like, I didn't even have a choice whether or not to be in survival mode. But you men don't care, you just move on to the next. You don't care who you put in survival mode. And y'all not trying to elevate at all. You're not trying to be with any woman. You're not trying to be with the woman that you really want to be with. Because you play games. You all play games for generations to come.
What is the reward of virginity, of a woman keeping her virginity? I just need to know. Because there is no guarantee that if you keep yourself as a virgin till probably you're 40, 50, or till you or till marriage, you're going to be with a man that is going to be happily ever after kind of relationship, or is going to treat you special because you're a virgin. And why is it that it's only women that have to be proved a virgin and the men can do whatever? I just need to know, because there is no point you keeping your virginity and at the end of the day you are still going to meet up with men that will not value you. I have free reaction on this video. Let's watch this video together and I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
There is no fairy tale with most of these men. There is no fairy tale. These men want smacks. This lady was a virgin. Now she is a single mom living in a hotel. From her life being perfect, she was self-preserved, doing everything she got to do. And these men play these games on women they know with no life experience. Why do men hate hoes? Because hoes know who they are. Hoes know their games. Exactly. Hoes can see them coming a mile away.
Yeah.
These men love you when women are, or they don't go out, they don't know much about dating, because they can play bullshit like this. And I really think it should be a charge for men to do this, because this is ridiculous. Like, women, we gotta wisen up.
I've been battling this for years, crying for years, because I went from a virgin at almost 30 years old to a single mother. But they don't never talk about how men lie and deceive women.
In my opinion, a woman who thinks her biggest value is her coochie and gives it to every man, and a woman who thinks her biggest value is her coochie and gives it to no man, are the same woman. Same coin, different side. You are going to learn the hard way that men do not care. Yeah. A man will still dog you out, treat you like garbage, and leave you as a single mother struggling like he would at 3 or 4. Ladies, you will never be rewarded for being a good girl. The only thing you get at the end of saving yourself for a man is a man's acknowledgement. And a man is not a prize. A man will not love you more, treat you better, not cheat on you, or be a better husband just because you held out on dating and experiencing intimacy with men before him. And if we're being honest here, I feel like there are certain types of men that look for women like that. Women who are religiously male-centered, women who feel like they are better than the next woman because she has not slept with men, and women who are inexperienced and can be easily manipulated. Now, I am not saying that as a woman you need to be giving your goods to every man that you date. Far from that. But we need to acknowledge that men, society, and religion do not want the best for women. So stop giving them so much power on what you should be doing with your own body.
30-year-old virgin to single mother is crazy as hell. Like, the timeline is crazy as hell, I know. But to wait your entire 20s and get to your 30s and decide to finally give it up, and the first man you give it up to turns you into a single mother, a baby mama who says she is in survival mode. Now that's crazy. How does something like that even happen? I need more details. I need more context, but I'm sure it's coming. All right, so this black woman looked traumatized, y'all. She got a blank stare, staring at the screen, mug on her face, bun to the back, looking tired, wore out, stressed out, and just at her wit's end. But this is why I say there's no glory in being a good girl. Like, waiting all that time to turn around and ultimately get played to the left. This is why a lot of so-called good girls have a high level of trauma. When you're a no good, lying, narcissistic, downright bad girl, 304 or whatever, like, those women, they mental health be a little bit better. I know you're probably like, how, what, where? Like, they mental health when it comes to men. I'm going to be specific. When it comes to dealing with the opposite sex, they already know a lot about how these men are going to operate. They've seen the dark sides of men. They've moved through enough men to know how 80% of them are going to pretty much act the same, and like there's a small percentage of men that are actually going to be exceptional good men, and they don't come that often, and only so many women get those men. And so for everybody else, you're either going to consistently get played and let it drag you to the bottom and have you feeling like how she feel, overwhelmed, played, disgusted, like she just cannot handle what is obviously happening to her. And even though she wants to feel so special and so unique, that story has happened to so many women out here. And they still have to pick that shit up and keep it moving and take care of their child. I know she's feeling down and out right now, and so many people want to feel sorry for her. But really, it's time for her to go ahead and just accept the reality of what has happened with this man and get herself together, get her shit together, get her bag together, and take care of her child and just move on. Because there's more men out here, boo. More men.
Okay, I want to start by saying that video is very depressing, and I really, really hope that she has a support system to help her. I think her name was Sadaya or Safaya or something along those lines, but I came upon her video just scrolling through TikTok. And after I watched it, it made me want to talk about it. Because men will get on this app all day, every day, talking about body counts. They literally will say they want virgins because they want them to be pure. And my thing is this. Y'all want them to be pure so you can treat them the exact same way? You want a woman who's never been with anybody before, even though you have, only to treat the woman that has no body count the same as you would treat one who had 30? This whole situation is sad. And I can promise you that she was lied to. But then you men have learned that new word of vetting. And I've been telling you men this shit over and over. Women would not have to vet you so hard if you just are honest from the beginning. I really hate that for her. And that's why y'all ladies, when these men start talking about body counts, it don't mean shit. Whether you a woman with 30 bodies, a woman with no bodies, if you their preference, Becky with the good hair, or if you happy to be nappy, they are going to be the same regardless. Treat them exactly how they treat y'all. I tell y'all this all the time on my live. Match their energy. If they lying, lie back. If they ain't shit, be ain't shit back. When he start moving to the left, you start moving to the right. Because again, this is a sad situation, but these dudes are not going to change, and y'all got to stop thinking y'all got to be anything different because they treat all women the same. That's why my motto is date the man with the money and fall in love with how he treats you. What do you guys think about this? Leave me a comment. Let's talk about it. And don't forget to hit the follow button. Toodles.
Because I went from a virgin at almost 30 years old to a single mother. And it hurts me because I've been silent for too long. And all I hear people say is they disrespect women and mothers all the time.
This is exactly what it looks like when you are in religion. And like she even called herself a good girl. When you are sold a dream, when you get it, typically when you are in especially Abrahamic religions, you are sold this idea of waiting out until marriage, purity. If the less touched that you are, the more desirable you'll be a man's prize pick. You are taught so much. You are conditioned in a very specific way. And that's why I say religion breeds pygmies. Yeah. It breeds women who have low self-esteem, who have no sense of identity, who really value men. They love to have men lord over them. They have no sense of sovereignty. They have no desire to have validation from within. What they do is typically motivated by men. This woman was deceived. She said she entered into the situation a virgin, left with a baby, left with heartache, and left pretty much with her whole psychology screwed. Because imagine if you're sitting here and your outlook on life is, if I do things the right way, if I adjust myself for God, and if I do what I need to do, then I'm going to get a good man. He's going to be a man of God. He's going to take care of me. I'm going to have my child with him. I'm a virgin. I've done things the right way. I'm doing things the right way now. And then to have your world flipped upside down, that is going to shift your reality. There's going to be some psychological damage, not only being done in the present, but in the end, because now your view of religion is probably going to change. Your view of God is going to change. Your view of men is going to change. Yeah. Nobody equips religious women with the truth. You sell them a dream and then you say, here, practice this. And you already teach them to subdue themselves to a God who rewards their purity. And that's just stupid. Women have sovereignty over their body. Their bodies belong to them. So when they already come into this religion saying, my body's not my own, it doesn't belong to me, it makes it easier to enter into these marriages with the idea of this is his body. He can do what he wants with it. This is what it is. Mm-hmm. And you're conditioning them to subdue themselves under male leadership. Religion, I have never seen, especially Abrahamic religions, empower women to be sovereign, to be partners. No, they condition women to be servants, as if men are worthy of being served. We are just as smart, if not more. We are just as capable, just as competent, if not more. Why should women be in subjection to men? Absolutely not. And these women have their worlds rocked upside down all the time.
Yes, religion plays a major role when it comes to young girls, women trying to preserve themselves as a virgin. Because they kind of tell people, both men and women, not to have sex until they are married, right? But then they kind of preach it more to women. As a woman, you have to preserve yourself. Your man has to be the one to disvirgin you. Your husband has to be the one to disvirgin you. In fact, you see our parents telling us that don't let any man sleep with you and disvirgin you. Keep it for your husband. Your virginity is for your husband. As if that virginity is a prize that the man gets when he marries you. Or I don't know. And my own is, at the end of the day, if you keep yourself and preserve yourself as a virgin and meet that man that marries you eventually, how does that benefit you as a woman? Because these men will still treat you the same way they treat the ones that are not virgins. They still act exactly the same way. In fact, they even treat you worse. Immediately a man knows that you've not done anything with any man, you're still very naive, you don't know anything about all these things, they will use you. When a man says that you've not actually been in the dating space, you don't know how to manipulate men, you don't know how to do this, you're a good girl, they will use you. that is the best thing for them. Once you see that you're very religious, you're a church girl, you go to all you do is go to church and pray, and you preserve yourself, holiness and all of that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But these men actually prey on women like that, and they just want to use them and dump them. It's very easy for them to use and dump women like that, but it's difficult for them to use, let me just say, wicked women. The women that are wicked to men. It's very difficult for them to just manipulate you and use you, because they know that you will not take any BS. But as a good girl, you always want to do the good thing. You always want to do good. They know how to manipulate you and get to you and just sleep with you. Most of the time, these men just want smacks from us. I keep saying it. A man that is talking to you for the very first time, the first thing that he's thinking about is how he's going to sleep with you. At the end of the day, they might end up being just friends with you or just turn them to something else. But the very first thinking is, I want to sleep with this girl. So they see us as they just want to sleep with you. They just want to sleep with this person. I just want to sleep with this person. They will do anything. They can pretend and be anything just to get into your pants. And it's easier for them to get into your pants, especially when you're a good girl and you're very religious and you're like, oh, I'm waiting for a man that's going to marry you. They'll pretend, and in fact, they will marry you. So men go as far as marrying women just to sleep with them, just to boast and say, oh, I finally slept with that virgin that she's only at. So the question is, why is it that women are the ones that have to prove themselves pure, worthy? They have to be able to be a virgin and give themselves to their man, and the men will just be men. Men do not have to prove themselves as virgin. In fact, a man can sleep with a lot of women and still marry a virgin as his prize. I don't know why women have to be the ones. If they're preaching, you have to keep yourself, preserve yourself to marriage. Let it be both men and women. Let it be both men and women. It should not be emphasized only on women. And if you as a woman, you're seeing that virginity and that's, I have to keep it for my man until I get married, there's nothing wrong with that. But know that most men will deceive you just because they know that you're a virgin. In your head, I just feel like just have it in your head that you're a virgin. You don't need to tell them that you're a virgin, because once they know, most of them is their pride, is their ego, like, oh, I just virgin you. And there's nothing, like, it doesn't take or add anything from them. It doesn't change who they are. Men will always be men. You're a virgin or not, you're a whore. Men will still be who they want to be. They will still treat you exactly how they want to treat you. They'll still break your heart whenever they are ready to. So if you're preserving yourself, I feel like you should just keep it to yourself and don't even announce it to them, so that they will not feel special, as if, oh, I'm a special kind of person, unless you're manipulating them. Anyway, you guys, what is your take on this video? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, your girl Mara David, and thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.